Hi everyone, so today we're going to be taking a look at a 2020 election scenario between Beto O'Rourke, the Democratic congressman from El Paso, Texas, and Donald Trump, the current incumbent president. So we're going to be going over a few things. Firstly, this is Beto O'Rourke announcing his bid for the presidency. Look at this.
Amy and I are happy to share with you that I'm running to serve you as the next president of the United States of America.
Okay, then he goes on to, blah blah blah. I would say I watched him announce his thing. There, if we go on
There's
and look
a lot
at this.
more to come, but I want to leave you with this. The only way for us to live up to the promise of America is to give it our all and to give it for all of us.
So I don't really understand what's with all this give it our all, No one knows what that means, and you need to define those terms. Anyway, this article from CNN Politics, Beto O'Rourke announces he's running for president in 2020. Beto O'Rourke announced Thursday that he is running for president, entering the 2020 race with a call for Americans to look past their differences in order to confront the challenges facing the country. This is a defining moment of truth for this country and for every single one of us, the 46-year-old Democratic former congressman from Texas said in a video announcing his candidacy. The chat, blah, 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 etc. Very interesting. Beto O'Rourke kind of towing that very careful line between progressives and moderates, kind of trying to find that center between them. But they do say that, if you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, and I think he's really trying to find that fine line that he needs to walk. Excuse me. So we're going to be going through a 2020 scenario. In this case, I don't think Beto O'Rourke is the strongest Democrat to go up against Donald Trump. So we're going to be going through that potential 2020 scenario anyway. Now, but before we get on to that, I just want to have a note on the Democratic primary and what O'Rourke's influence might be. So, honestly, I do not understand why Beto O'Rourke did not choose to continue that momentum he had coming out of his close Texas loss to Senator Ted Cruz. I don't know why he waited so long after his momentum had died down. If he had announced within a few weeks after he lost to Senator Cruz for his 2020 ambitions, I think that he would have performed much better, because at this point he's lost a lot of his momentum that he had in his 2018 Texas race. So we're going to be going through the 2020 scenario. Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, New Mexico, with the Latino vote, would move into the safe column. Illinois, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, the District of Columbia, New York, that most of Maine, except for that Maine at large, I would move into the likely column. Second district, I'll come back to. So yes, 190 electoral votes for Beto O'Rourke. As for Trump, Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, most of Nebraska except for that second congressional district, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana, and Missouri. So, Donald Trump at 125 electoral votes, Beto O'Rourke at 190. Excuse me. So we're going to be going through these toss-up states. We're going to be starting in Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Texas, Nebraska, and then we're going to go into the South, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia, then up into the north, Maine, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and then into the Midwest, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota. So Beto O'Rourke at 190. Where can he kind of increase his lead uh, over Trump? So Nevada is an area I think Beto O'Rourke could do quite well in. Look at the 2018 midterm results. Democrat picks up a Senate seat. Democrat picks up a governor's seat, which, by the way, that governor, Adam Laxalt, I think, who just how do you say, his term expired, and they held a new gubernatorial election against Steve Sisolak and Adam Laxalt. But the current governor of Nevada, the one before Sisolak, is very popular. Brian Sandoval, extremely popular. And it's interesting how they still elected in Nevada a governor as a Democrat in Nevada. So anyway, Nevada moves into the likely Democratic column. Arizona, I could see this one getting very close between O'Rourke and Trump, but I actually think O'Rourke can pull off the upset. Texas, he almost won Texas, and Arizona is more Democratic than Texas. He's from the area. He knows his people there. And with a strong showing with the Latino vote, I think O'Rourke can actually win narrowly in the state of Arizona. In Colorado, the state of Colorado, that moves into the likely column, no question there. O'Rourke, this is a very Democratic state, O'Rourke, with a lot of ground in Colorado. We're actually going to go to Nebraska next. So Nebraska's 2nd district, I see going to Trump. In the 2018 midterms, they had the opportunity to vote for a Democrat, a progressive Democrat actually. They turned her down, Kara Eastman. At this point, we can see Trump winning in the 2nd district of Nebraska. So now we can see Trump is thoroughly behind Beto O'Rourke, but I really think that Trump will be able to win in Texas. O'Rourke, he came close in Texas, that's something, and he ran a very strong campaign, but it wasn't enough to get him over the line, and I see Texas going to Trump anyway. I know, demographic changes, yes, but Ted Cruz was uniquely unpopular, and Beto O'Rourke has kind of lost all his 2018 mojo, if you will. I see Trump winning Texas. In Florida, I also see that being a Trump state. Now, hear me out about Florida. I see this one going to Trump. Now, Beto O'Rourke's an interesting candidate in that he can somewhat appeal to both conservative Democrats, somewhat appeal to the establishment, and also appeal to progressives. But again, you can't really tow all three on one piece of rope. And I see Beto O'Rourke coming up short in Texas. Now, with Texas, look, I know I've repeated this argument a lot with Florida, but look at the 2018 midterm results. In a blue wave, that was undoubtedly a blue wave, with Democrats winning the House, 41 seats, Democrats winning Democrats not doing too well in the Senate with a very bad map, but holding their own against the Republicans against a very bad map, winning West Virginia, winning Montana, winning Arizona. That's pretty impressive stuff for the Democrats. Also, Democrats picked up governor seats. Any way you slice it, it was undoubtedly a blue wave. Florida was an exception. Democrats did not pick up as many House seats as they were expecting to. Democrats fell short in both high-profile statewide contests in the Senate race and in the governor's race. I see O'Rourke coming up short in Florida. I also see him coming up short in Georgia and North Carolina. Beto O'Rourke didn't really get out the African-American vote in Texas and in his Senate race against Ted Cruz. An African-American vote is key for Democrats winning in Georgia and North Carolina. I don't see O'Rourke being the person who can get them out excited to go out and vote. Next one, Virginia. This is quite a establishment Democratic state. I see O'Rourke easily sweeping up against Trump in this state, even with all the scandals following the top three in Virginia politics. Ralph Northam, Justin Fairfax, and who's the other guy? Mark Herring or something? Not sure about that. But anyway, it's mainly Northam and Fairfax who are facing big scandals. But again, this new notion that, that these politicians, they'll just hang on until the news cycle about them dies down. And even though the news outlets themselves, I think it was Chris Cuomo or Don Lemon who called the news media out, saying that we can't stop covering it, and they stopped covering it anyway in Virginia politics. But anyway, I still think that Beto O'Rourke can hold on to the state of Virginia. In Maine, we can see in the state of Maine, that 2nd congressional district moving into the Trump column. Beto O'Rourke, not really the kind of person to appeal to those voters. In the state of New Hampshire, this one would go to Beto O'Rourke decisively. I see Beto O'Rourke winning there against Trump. So moving into the industrial Midwest, where this race will be won and lost, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota. So that's the way we'll be going through it at this point. Pennsylvania goes to Beto O'Rourke. Democrats picked up the governor's seat, they picked up a Senate seat, they picked up 5 or 6 House races in 2018 in Pennsylvania. I see Beto O'Rourke narrowly taking Pennsylvania. But in Ohio, the Democrat there, Sherrod Brown, underperformed what he was meant to do. According to the polling, the Republican there, Mike DeWine, actually won the governor's race in somewhat of an upset. Furthermore, Democratic House candidates underperformed where they were meant to be. In Ohio, I see Ohio moving into the leaning Republican column. Michigan, Beto O'Rourke, I see narrowly winning in the state of Michigan, very narrowly against Trump, just because, again, I think he's slightly better of a Democratic candidate than Clinton. I see Beto O'Rourke winning Pennsylvania, Michigan, and also Wisconsin against Donald Trump. Democrats, by the way, are holding their convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which I think may or may not have somewhat of an impact moving into the 2020 race. State of Iowa, Trump's approval ratings have absolutely tumbled there, and I mean, for that reason alone, I would feel comfortable enough moving that into the Beto O'Rourke column. However, approval ratings can change, and I don't think Beto O'Rourke will do the best at appealing to the rural voters there, and for that reason I'm going to narrowly give that one over to Donald Trump. And you can probably expect, if Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona are going for O'Rourke, you can probably expect Minnesota is going to be going for Beto O'Rourke as well. I'm actually going to move Minnesota into the likely column, and also Pennsylvania into the leaning Democratic column. So final electoral map, 289 for O'Rourke, 249 for Donald Trump. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, the breaking news here, Beto O'Rourke is running for president. Look at this.
Amy and I are happy to share with you that I'm running to serve you as the next president of the United States of America.
There you have it, Beto O'Rourke running for president. That's what we need to know at this point. Beto O'Rourke is running for president. Thank you.